BTS Spring Day is one of my favorite songs. It's got nice tempo, it's got like good melody, and it's got very nice hook, which is very, very addictive. But lots of people actually overlook the lyric of the song and its message as well. What I'm going to do is analyze the lyric for you guys. And that's gonna include explaining some of the Korean culture, how the language is spoken, and poetic references or expression as well. I noticed that there is a translation, which is not wrong, but I feel it kind of fails to capture all the details and all the meaning of the song. This song has many clues where message of the song is not directed to friends. It's for people who are very special and who are very dear to BTS. I think this song is dedicated to ARMY. So let's see what this song is really about. In verse 1, we have 보고 싶다, 이렇게 말하니 더 보고 싶다, 너의 사진을 보고 있어도 보고 싶다, 너무 야속한 시간, 나는 우리가 밉다, 이제 얼굴 한번 보는 것도 힘들어진 우리가. Translation is pretty straightforward, but there's a lot of hidden things in this lyric. First thing is, 보고 싶다 is actually one of the most common phrases that Koreans use. It can mean that they miss someone, but at the same time, it can be a very meaningless phrase as well. So what this song does is it explains a lot of situations and emotions to tell us that they mean the phrase I miss you. Like the next phrase, 이렇게 말하니까 더 보고 싶다. Translation, it reads, now that I've said it, I miss you even more. In Korean culture, guys rarely say now that I've said it. They only say it when they really, really, really mean something. And that's why this phrase actually has a very romantic vibe within it. And then the next phrase reads, 너희 사진을 보고 있어도 보고 싶다. This phrase hints us that this song is not for lovers or love interest because the you has been used as plural. Because of that, we have two scenarios. One, this song is dedicated to like friends, such as like high school friends, or this song is for a group of people who are very special to them. And I go with the latter because there are a lot of parts in this song that has lots of romance in them, which is very awkward or inappropriate when we say something like that to friends. Anyway, that's that. But within this verse, I want to talk about one more phrase, which is 나는 우리가 밉다. So in translation, it has I hate us. But then the thing about hate in Korean, 밉다, is that it's a lot less strong words than English word hate. So if we take that into consideration, it actually becomes more like I'm unhappy with us, or more like I'm unhappy with our situation. Not really I hate us. So if we continue with the song, next phrase is 여긴 온통 겨울뿐이야 8월에도 겨울은 와. In Korean culture, winter is the season where it doesn't really symbolize something fresh or something good. In fact, when we say winter, it actually conveys like depressing mood. Next phrase actually has a bit of a poetic reference. So it reads 마음은 시간을 달려가네. It's conveying the meaning of they want winter, which is right now, to be over so that spring comes. And spring in Korea symbolizes the life, happiness, and a lot of good things. Next phrase is kind of interesting too. 홀로 남은 설국열차. So for this phrase, it's not like really poetic expression or anything like that. Well, what you have to know is that 설국열차 is a movie made in Korea, which was one of the very big hit. What this is about is that in an apocalyptic world, everything became extinct and there was only one train with full of people. It's about the life of those people who are the only survivors in the world. So this phrase in the end means that they feel very, very, very alone without you guys. And we get the bridge. So the translation is mostly straightforward. There is one interesting part, which is 날리는 눈이 나라면 조금 더 내게 빨리 닿을 수 있을 텐데. So here they said floating snow instead of falling snow. Since they said floating, it conveys the meaning that their desire is ongoing and their heart is ongoing rather than falling and done with it. Then we reach the chorus. There are two phrases that I want to talk about in this chorus. First one is 또 몇 밤을 더 세워야 널 보게 될까? 만나게 될까? Now, this is one of the phrases where I feel that this is not for friend. Because, Korea values romance quite a bit. But we would never, ever spend sleepless night to see our friend. In fact, if we say something like this, it's gonna make my friend very awkward. And the next phrase that I want to talk about is this. 추운 겨울 끝을 지나 다시 봄날이 올 때까지, 꽃 피울 때까지 그곳에 좀 더 머물러줘. Flower blooming and spring are considered very romantic words in Korean. Something like this you'd never say to the high school friends. The second thing about this phrase is that the 봄날, it symbolizes like the pureness, warm heart, and happiness, etc., etc. In that context, when they say 머물러줘, I think that means please don't change and be our fan forever. So they want you guys to be very pure and warm-hearted forever because you guys are very precious to them. And we get the verse 2. 네가 변한 건지 내가 변한 건지. So it kind of follows the last phrase where I said please don't change. And the change of heart here, I think it really means more like, when you get old and you have to start focusing on your life and neglect family and friends a little bit aside, I think the change of heart here is that kind of change. Other than that, this verse is pretty straightforward. And the next verse starts with the 밉다 again, the hate. But like I mentioned, the intensity of a 밉다 and hate is very different. So this phrase doesn't really mean that I hate you. It's more like I don't like the situation again. We have two phrases that worth talking about, which is 솔직히 보고 싶은데 이만 너를 지울게. 그게 널 원망하기보단 덜 아프니까. Once again, these phrases are not really appropriate for friends. And when you look at the 원망, the resent is a very strong word in Korea. And this is only used in one, when you have your biggest enemy, or two, when something goes wrong with romantically involved couple. So these kind of phrases hint us that this is not really for friends. And same thing goes for 너를 지울게, because you would never say this phrase to your friends in Korea. And then we hit the bridge again. This bridge actually has a very interesting phrase, which is 시린 널 불어내 본다. It's interesting because this phrase actually doesn't make any sense in Korean as well. So I had to think about it a little bit. First part of the phrase is 시린 너, and that means cold you. What they mean is that it's you're cold, and 불어내 본다 is like exhale. How I translated it was, I'm trying to exhale your cruelty, and then next phrase gets very interesting. 연기처럼, 하얀 연기처럼. 하얀 연기, the white smoke in Korea has an image of even though it disappears, it gets stuck in that environment. So what they mean is, even though I'm trying to forget you and your cruelty, it's gonna be stuck in my heart forever. We have a repetition of chorus, and we have a bridge again. And the first phrase of this bridge is a little bit interesting too, because they said, 아침은 다시 올 거야. So in direct translation, the brand new day will come. But when Koreans say something like this, it's more like, let's keep hoping, let's not lose hope kind of thing. And we have a chorus again, which is a little bit different. The first phrase reads, 벚꽃이 피나 봐요. In Korea, cherry blossom is a symbol of many things, which includes pure heart, romance, love, and etc. So in fact, this phrase has a lot of romantic vibe than it simply reads. And then rest of it is a repetition, like I said, which is not really appropriate for friends, but someone who's very, very special and someone who occupies a big space in their heart. So that's the end of the song. And just in case if you're interested in learning Korean, I do have a couple phrases from the song that are going to be very useful when you know them, which are 보고 싶다, which means I miss you, 솔직히, which means honestly, and something처럼, which means like something. Those three expressions are very commonly used and you hear them a lot. Okay, so that's it for today's analysis of the song Spring Day. I hope you guys enjoyed it. and I will come back with different song next time.